Hello, I'm Natalie Becker. Welcome to It's Africa's Time. Today we travel in Mozambique, South Africa and Ethiopia to see how investments by companies large and small can have significant impact on local job creation and the implementation of environmentally sound practices. But first, Gerd Trogeman for the UNDP and Dr. Weber Buru of the Tony Elimela Foundation will give us their insights for Africa's sustainable growth and development.
Our current way of doing business is very often unsustainable. It doesn't bring the social and political benefits, but it also has disastrous effects on the environment. So turning that around and finding a way of overcoming inequality through more inclusive approaches, yet at the same time more sustainable long-term thinking, is what actually can make the difference and bring about the type of growth that can bring benefits to the population at large and not to select groups. It has become a truly global affair to look at development, and the days are over in which you could say that your neighbor's problems are your neighbor's problems. Today, their problems are your problem at the same time, so you better get involved and you better help tackle it.
There's a lot of simultaneous conversations going on. There's inclusive markets, there's impact investing, there's shared value. There's a lot of conversations around the post-MDG, post-2015 MDGs and how the private sector can be part of that. Our founder, Mr. Tony Elimela, has a concept called Afrocapitalism, which is another version of this, which is, again, talking about how the private sector can engage to create both social and economic wealth. But the reality is that all of these conversations ultimately are looking at the same, focusing on the same objective, and that is that we need to rethink how global capital does more than just create economic wealth, but also creates social wealth. We need to find the right sorts of incentives in a positive way, not a negative one, but in a positive way, to get the private sector, the largest corporations in the world, to start thinking about business in an inclusive way. And that's actually the only way that we can make a difference. Otherwise, it will remain small, niche, and it won't have the impact that we need. And I actually think that in Africa, there's a lot of talk about leapfrogging, right? And we've leapfrogged in technology with mobile telecommunications, mobile banking, things like that. But I actually think Africa has an opportunity to leapfrog the capitalist system and to create actually a more socially inclusive capitalist system that becomes the fundamental basis of how Africa develops.
In Northern Mozambique, we meet with Lozane Farms, a local seed supplier working together with government and USAID to promote sustainable livelihoods, food security, and environmentally responsible farming in the region.
Bom, o distrito produz basicamente cereal que
Our local district is well known for cereal farming. Maize is one of the main crop, covering up to 30% of the total district production. But however, there are other crops that are being produced. For example, cowpeas, sugar beans, and soybean, which is fast becoming a cash crop as of recent years. More than 80% of the production is done by the small-scale farmers. We see that as an opportunity for growth in the agricultural sector.
Lozane Farms was registered in 2007. Currently, we have got 2 farms, one small farm in Maputo. The second farm is the one where we are at the moment in Zambezia province. This farm has got 500 hectares in total. However, of the 500 hectares, we've got plus minus 200 hectares arable. We're producing soya seed, maize seed, cowpea seed, sorghum seed, and pigeon pea seed. Now, off the season, we do horticulture production. We're producing cabbages, tomatoes, and green pepper.
Pro-Savannah is a triangular development program between the Mozambican Ministry of Agriculture, the Brazilian Cooperation Agency, and the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. Its objective is to aid agricultural and rural development of areas along the Nacala corridor, which runs from the port of Nacala to landlocked Malawi. In its initial phase, the fund will benefit 5 companies, whose investments will impact directly on access to new markets and technologies for approximately 2,000 small producers.
Neste momento, apenas nós temos.
At this experimental phase, we have one company in the district, which is Lozane Farms, that has benefited alone from the project. Lozane Farms is working with plus minus 425 farmers in the district that are indirectly benefiting from the same financial scheme.
In the country, commercial loans, commercial finance interest per year is between 23 to 26%. Now, the ProSavannah project is identifying initiatives in remote areas and giving financial credit at 10% per annum. I would describe small-scale farmers as small business units. Like any other business unit, people go into business to grow. Coupled with the fact that it's difficult for these small business units, which is the biggest network in agriculture in the country, to access finance, they face the lack of know-how as a huge challenge for their growth. Currently, there is a huge lack of improved seed. Our main objective is to be a supplier of quality seed throughout the country. I think the moment that the farmers realize that they can make money from a crop, the tendency is to increase their areas so that they can sell more. And that's happening.
Eu produzo a soja.
I produce soybean, sugar beans and maize. I got the seed from Lozane Farms on credit basis. As an association, we agreed on the figure that they're going to pay, and they will announce a day that they will come collect the production. And I have witnessed some growth. I did manage to construct my house, and I also have a bank account. I also have managed to buy animals like goats, pig and chicken. I intend to increase the area that I'm working on so that I can get more use than I'm getting now.
Maior.
The farmers around this farm were used to using recycled seed. They would keep their own and use it as seed, and their yields were very low. They have now realized that there is a need to use improved seed. Whatever we're producing and we give it out to farmers, we make sure that it is produced to the standard that we're looking for, because their market is the farm. We buy their produce. This is a win-win situation. This is a commercial relationship. We produce seed, we make money from the seed. However, we're giving it to the local people at a facility, and we give them technical assistance. We have had advice from Lozane Farms to legalize our association. They introduced the soybean as a crop, and the farmers in our association are happy. I earn a lot of money, which I use to buy the family needs. You name them, food, clothes, and the rest of the domestic needs. I'm also in the process of building the second house. We've been working with 12 associations. We have a total of 425 farmers working with us. And I'm pleased to say that out of these farmers, from this year, we have 11 farmers that are interested to grow, that are doubling their areas. They're now going to be doing seed production with us under our technical supervision. They are now looking at 7 hectares, 10 hectares. We have one that has got plus minus 15 hectares. The advantage of them doing that is that they're going to earn more money than they do when they're producing grain. But the advantage to us is that we're going to increase our seed volumes as well.
Regarding food security, we have to say that the district is self-sufficient. There is a lot of production going on. Probably the challenge that we have now is how do we convert the production into nutrition for the small-scale farmers and the population in the district.
In the northern part of the country, the horticultural products that are sold in the supermarkets, they are coming from outside the country, mostly from South Africa and Malawi. We therefore realized that there was an opportunity. We did a pilot project during the last season. The people that are working with us, we're encouraging to do the production of the same crops we buy again from them and take it to the market. We want to create yet another parallel market. Now the idea is to get farmers in their production areas to be processing soybeans in different products. The demand for the soya that they are growing is going to grow because it's going to be consumed locally. We will get small manual solar-powered processing machines that we're going to distribute on credit basis to the farmer groups that we have.
After 25 years of assistance to the Mozambican agricultural and private sectors, North American agency USAID launched AgriFuturo, which works at strengthening agricultural value chains. AgriFuturo is the main development partner for the Lozane Farms soya processing project.
The programs that were being supported before were programs that were related to food security. With new challenges of the present millennium, USAID is focused on programs that look at the markets through value-added initiatives in production. One of the objectives is to increase the income of the producers and the rural families. Lozane Farms is a company that, according to USAID classification, they refer it as a cluster, a company that provides services regarding to input supplies as well as purchase of production from the smallholder farmers. USAID is looking at strengthening the relationship with Lozane Farms, also in the establishment of a seed processing plant to allow Lozane Farms to supply improved soybean seeds and other crop varieties in the region.
We're going to have our development partners like AgriFuturo, ITA, involved in the training of those farmer groups on the processing. The first one is soya meal, second one soya cooking oil, and the third one the soya meal for making porridge. This is where we want to have our development partners coming in and do a lot of promotion, because it's something that can be affordable at rural level and it substitutes very well the normal porridges, and it's very rich in protein. We believe by processing the soybean into different soya products, in as much as we're increasing money to the farmers, we're also solving nutrition problems.
Mozambique has been underexplored as far as agriculture is concerned. The tropical climates and the fertile soils that we have in Mozambique, coupled with the fact that it has got a very large extension of the sea and many ports that can be used, puts it in a better position to be the potential big producer of food in Southern Africa.